That's all I have, thanks.
Thank you, Councilman. Mr. Green.
Yeah, I want to thank Public Works and Parks and Rec for doing a great job cleaning up the city. I mean, getting a lot of phone calls and emails about how everything's starting to take shape. Thanks for doing the lights at the skate park. I got an email about that. They're happy. And a few things, we got the children's parade coming up on December 6th with Christmas on the Water. We have that weekend. We got the Christmas on the Avenue coming up pretty quick. They should be starting to do a little decorating, extra decorating down there now in the few more sheds. So that's going to be nice. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Mr. Crib.
You're going to go to Mr. Tisdale next. But just real quick, we had our second beautification commission meeting this past week. We elected officers since we do have a quorum with four members. Lyle Burnett Alley is the president, Stacy Hayter is vice president, and Vincent Creel is the secretary and treasurer. We do still have 3 remaining appointees in nominations waiting, but these guys have really hit the ground running with the Adopt a Medium program, Adopt a Road, Adopt an Area. They're out there beating the streets and getting people on board and getting them fired up to help beautify the city. So we look forward to the remaining 3 nominations and getting the full committee together, along with the community sponsors that these guys that are on here now are out there reaching out to. So with that, concludes my.
Thank you. Mr. Manning.
I just wanted to ask the chief, is there any way we can get one of those speed limit signs, you know, the one that you put down there by the on Greater Avenue on the east side of Greater, when you come over to, I think a lot of people are starting to use that road more because of the familiar streets, and I'm getting a lot of complaints about speeders.
We'll take a look at it and we'll pass it on to the commission.
You know, how hard is it to get a children at play, because there's children right there?
This is regular times not to do it all. We add electricity to children's flashlights. That's what it is.
Okay, I think, and then the playground equipment at Tanglewood, I got a couple pictures sent to me that are rusted. Might want to check that out. And what else on here? Oh, we had a good time at the Donald Snyder, giving out food, and Chief and Tisdale. Can't wait to do that again. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tisdale.
Thank you, Mr. President. Right, they did have a special needs Thanksgiving dinner that was this past Sunday. It's sponsored by Parks and Recreation Department. They probably had, I don't know, about 120, 100. There was a lot. So it was very well attended. That's an annual event. Mr. Creel, a couple of things, if you don't mind. One is the status of, I think it's Moffett Road. That would be just off the Pass Road.
Yes.
Right? Is that, I think that's the name of what we vacated there. Is that property for sale?
My understanding is it is, and I've not known that because some of the people that are negotiating with them in contact.
Right. And again, that's, you and I have had a couple of conversations about that, and it's just that we do what we're supposed to do when a developer comes in and says, this is what I plan to do. And the city has to rezone it or approve a conditional use in some instances. And then whoever the original developer was decides he or she's going to sell it or do something differently. Or it just sits there and nothing happens. And I know you and I have had a discussion about conditional zoning and address this issue is that in good faith, the city does their part, but then the developer, there always is a reason the market changed. The market's changed is a big one. But I would, it'd be great, maybe Mr. Abad, you can check into this so that if we know how to, I guess, wordsmith this with the intent being that it's not conditional zoning, but maybe in 2 years, if some milestone hadn't been reached, then the new zoning would revert to the old zoning. In other words, to see some progress rather than just rezoning and nothing ever happens. And I don't want to get into a big discussion now because it's Thanksgiving. We can talk about it later if you like. Okay?
Okay.
If I need an excuse, that's the excuse I have. The other thing is I sent you a picture of a sign or two on Eisenhower.
We've already communicated with the property owners, and they're going to sign it.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much, Jerry. I appreciate that. Hope everybody has a safe and memorable Thanksgiving with their family and friends. And if you're traveling, just be very careful on the road. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Tisdale. Mr. Marshall.
We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. I'm hoping everybody have a great Thanksgiving. One of the things that I want to have an opportunity to address it at another time, but I want to bring this topic up for my fellow council members. I've been getting a lot of calls about the church that's down there at by the lighthouse, and I would like to maybe get together, maybe if the president form a little small 3-member committee, we can get together, try to figure out a way for religious organizations. They're not trying to make money, they're just there preaching God's word. So we need to find out what can be done so it'll be more clear, that way we can give them a clear answer. The second thing is that we do have a policy or ordinances that for these special events that they was talking about, they were going to be talking about later, each one. On last meeting, I requested that those who are requesting fee reductions, I think facility rental fee reductions, I requested that each one who requested it to show up. The reason for that was simple. A lot of times I look at this, I don't know who these people are, and they're asking us for my citizens' money. And for me to honestly do that, I need to know who you are, what you're going to do for the community. In regards to those organizations that are requesting, so it'll be clear as to how I stand. There are certain organizations that actually go out into East Biloxi. I can speak clearly for East Biloxi. And like the second liners, they adopted Henry Beck Park. They're here today because they have an event coming up to ask for a fee reduction. So we need to work on those. It's a difference between, I guess what I'm trying to say is, it's a difference between a group that doesn't give back to this city versus an organization who was actually formed to give back to this city. If an organization comes in, they're from out of town, they don't give anything to our community, they're not investing anything in our community, they're just going to take from our community resources, I think I will give more weight to an organization like the nonprofit, that legacy organization, nonprofit that's working with Memorial Hospital. Memorial Hospital just made a major investment in our community. And I want to do anything I can to make sure they stay here. And we need to, as we talk to these people, we ask that they show up. Let's evaluate them on what they are doing for the citizens so that we can get a dollar value out of what they're investing. Their time, their resources, their efforts, and when they do things, they're a nonprofit, they're actually not making any money. Now, there's a difference in a group that's saying, hey, we're a nonprofit, we're going to be throwing us a big Christmas party to celebrate, versus an organization that's using our facility to raise money to give scholarships to children in East Biloxi or anywhere in Biloxi, anywhere in Biloxi want to go to college. Those are two things that we need to look at. So if we need to redefine our ordinances, I think we probably should kind of be, if I'm asking the president, kind of figure out a way we maybe have another little small meeting to say, that's how we're gonna prioritize these. Other than that, we're gonna keep going. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall. Well, first thing, and I'm going to kind of go off of what Mr. Marshall said in his council report, I'll go ahead and appoint that committee now. Mr. Marshall, Mr. Gray, Mr. Creel, would you all be willing to serve on this New Beginnings Church committee? Sure. All right. If y'all would just get together and just maybe make it part of one of your subsequent council reports, which y'all come up with, that would be great. The other thing, all this goodwill is great. Thank you for your report, Mr. Nail, Mr. Tisdale, on what happened out there with the Thanksgiving dinner. At the same day, at the same time, actually, the Seashore Mission was doing a Thanksgiving meal distribution with the help of the Trident Foundation. And we got to serve several of the citizens out there. They were real happy to get a meal, and it was just good to see the interaction with our community. I don't have a lot more on here, so we'll go ahead and conclude all our reports and move on to our citizen comments. So citizen comments is now open. We have a total allotted time of 45 minutes. There's not a big crowd today, so if you go over the 3-minute threshold for a few seconds, we'll go ahead and be lenient on that today, but only for a few seconds. We'll start on my left, your right. Anyone would like to address the council? Anyone on my right? Anyone in the back of the room? Citizens' comments is now closed. We'll move on to the policy agenda. If the clerk could read the resolutions.
Resolution granting vacation of an unimproved public right-of-way for various addresses adjacent to Division Street, Porter Avenue, and Cherokee Street.
Chair will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Gray. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Tisdale. Mr. Gray, you have the floor.
Yeah, we have a lot of places like this. I guess way back, I guess they use them for easements for utilities and stuff, and I guess that's what this was designed for. So I don't have a problem with it.
All right, Mr. Tisdale.
Yeah, Jerry, just really one question. It's usually these easements are north and south. This one kind of goes through a block with a number of twists and turns. But it is noted in there that Mississippi Power has an existing utilities within that area, right? So if those property owners want to use that property, they have to be cognizant that they're still Mississippi Power utilities.
That's correct.
And who notifies the property owners under those circumstances? Okay.
What happened is, a few years ago, utilities, except for the power company line, was removed out of this. It's actually a dedicated but unimproved right-of-way. You would never know that it was there. The only thing there's the power line. So what happens is that the utilities that may still be in there, they don't really object to us removing the right-of-way designation, vacating that, provided that we maintain an easement there for them to be able to get in there and service their line. And they have what's called, even if it's not a written easement, they have what's called a prescriptive easement or an easement by necessity that allows them to get in there. And if you went out there to look at this particular property, you would never know that there was anything in there because there are sheds built over it, there are trees in the middle of it, everything else. It's never been improved with asphalt or anything like that.
All right, thank you. That's all I have.
All right, there being no other comments, call for the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Item B.
Resolution to grant final subdivision plat approval for Bay Breeze Townhome subdivision.
Chair entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Gray. Mr. Creel.
So the final plat Does this include the rezoning as well from, this is the one that goes to the PDI, is that?
They did this as a PDI way back in the beginning when they first got started, so that's already been taken care of. What's happened now is they got preliminary plat approval with that. They put all the utilities in underground, and after the utilities are in underground, to the satisfaction of the city engineer, they come back to the council to get final plat approval. So if this final plat is approved today, it gets filed in the courthouse, and after that, we can start issuing permits to build the townhomes down there.
Okay, so just a few questions. One of the things that it stated in there is there's going to be more walkability. Does that include sidewalks throughout the planned development?
Yes, sir, they have to have sidewalks.
Sidewalks. Also, the changing zone, it says also that these are long-term rentals, correct? That they're using them for?
That's typically left up to the developer, what they're going to do with them, but my understanding is that, yes, they're going to be long-term rentals.
All right, so I guess my final question would be, if they're long-term rentals and they can't sell them individually, if they have to sell them, they go out and sell the whole project, correct? Not individually?
No, sir, it is a subdivision. It's a subdivision. They subdivided the individual lots, so they can sell them individually, yes.
Okay, and so with this, they could do short-term rentals as well as long-term rentals, or no?
Do short-term rental.
No.
Allowed.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Gray?
On these houses, are they gonna be brick siding? Do we know that?
They'll have brick, and then they'll have hardy plank. If you've seen what's being built off of Eisenhower down here, or the ones that are built on DeBees Road right behind the convenience store, it'll look like those.
Okay, that's good. We need, like I said, we need more development like this down in this area. So, I mean, I welcome them. Like Mr. Marshall said, we have the infrastructure, we have the new roads, we have everything. Now, we just need some people to come in and build. So, I'm ready for them to get started on this. That's all I have. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Crew?
Just one more question. So, if you can, in 20 words or less, the difference between the PDI and the RM30, because I've read in the planning commission meetings where there were some residents that were concerned about the new zoning change and devaluing their property and whatnots.
Okay, a PDI is not a zoning change. A PDI is an overlay district. In other words, the underlying zoning is still there, but what the PD does, that's the new term for PUD that was from years ago. What that does is that allows the developer some flexibility about setbacks and those kind of things to allow him to increase density. And the PDI was specifically written for East Biloxi, the eastern part of Biloxi, to allow those people to do some infill construction that might not work in another area where they didn't have this kind of room, that they would be limited based on this. So the plan development infill is just what it says. It's for infill projects to come in and to be able to utilize smaller pieces of property, but be able to get maybe greater density or more flexible setbacks.
So how would one consider this project devaluing their adjacent property?
I can't imagine that happening. I mean, most of the property around here is vacant anyway, other than the retirement across the street, but these are going to be nice townhomes.
Okay.
Be market rate.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I just have a couple questions.
Now we have a comment also when you get through. No, go
All
ahead.
right, thank you. The maintenance bond, I know it's $32,000. What exactly does that cover?
Well, that covers, in case they damage one of our utilities while they're putting in the underground, that's what that is, and that just basically goes away after the project is done, the infrastructure's put in.
And then the subdivision bond, I'm assuming is something similar to that?
Well, what happens is if there's city utilities,
Roads and sidewalks.
if they have the intention, a developer has the intention of dedicating those utilities over to the city at some point, what that does is kind of guarantees those utilities through the first 1, 2, or 3 years that development's there. so that there's developer money available to fix those things rather than city money having to repair it.
So basically, we approve, if this is approved today, they build the houses. At some point, the city will take over, I'm sure, the streets, the drainage, the sewer. And
If they request that, they would have to come back to the council and ask y'all to agree to that. But all of these utilities are on their property. You know, this is not your typical subdivision like we do with single-family houses.
Right, okay.
So we had that request come up one time before about the Lost Garden Villas down on DeBees Road, and they actually were asking us to take over their utilities, but the city saw no advantage to taking over their utilities down there. So, and I don't see any advantage to us taking over their utilities down here, so.
So as of now, it would be incumbent upon the developer. And then there's that bond of $129,000. If there was an issue that related to anything with the city, that bond would help cover any monies we had to spend.
That's my understanding. A little closer to that, because the bonds are held or made through the engineering department while the construction is underway, so.
And Ms. Labata, is that?
Yes, that's correct. So the first bond we have is a bond for their asphalt. They asked not to put their final layer of asphalt until the townhomes were built, which is very common. That way, with construction trucks and stuff, that they can put it, when they're done building, they can have a nice clean layer of asphalt. So that's what the first bond is for. The second bond is our maintenance bond that we hold for 2 years. So if anything that they have dedicated to the city, you know, if they hit a fire hydrant or anything like that, that we have that kind of as our warranty to that developer to go back and fix anything for the first 2 years. And then after 2 years, we release the bond.
Okay, so if they didn't, for some reason they did not, we could use that bond to fix any or repair any issues or any damage.
Yes, if they didn't come in and fix it under their warranty.
Right, and then after 2 years, then is it the city's issue or is it still the developer's issue?
So after 2 years, no matter what happens, it's the city's issue.
Okay.
So, but if you had like a random car come through and hit a fire hydrant, that wouldn't be a warranty item for the developer, that would be the city's. But if somebody building a house in there hit it, you know, their builder hit it, then it would be their responsibility under their warranty.
And this may not be anything we need to discuss now, but I just see in Wool Market some of the drainage, and nothing regarding you. I mean, I know some things were different some years ago, it seems like, but what I've seen in Wool Market, drainage, there's always issues after these subdivisions, and after the city takes over, we've always got drainage issues. So I don't know what we can do, and we can talk about it another day, but I think that's something we may need to, I don't know, maybe as a whole or you know, whoever,
Yes.
at some point come up with maybe some new requirements or guidelines for that moving forward. But we can talk about that later.
Sure.
Thank you, Director. Thanks, Director Creel. And that's all I have.
Ms. Labate. You almost got away, didn't you?
Did.
I thought I heard Mr. Creel say they got to come back to us before they turn over utilities to us. But you're saying they don't, or do?
It depends, and actually, I was trying to read back on this one because I couldn't remember if they were dedicating utilities to it, because sometimes they dedicate utilities to us and sometimes they don't. So I was trying to look back on this one to see if they were or not, but Jerry said they're not dedicated.
I don't think they're gonna come back to do it, you know, that may change.
Yeah.
But, the thing is, the council will determine whether or not they said.
Yeah, let me throw my 2 cents on this. Having watched this thing day by day go up, and probably go by there every day, this is on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best. This is close to a 5. If we could replicate this a number of times, because it's a tight, well-done construction. I mean, this would be 27, 28 homes, 27. So that's population that's going to be there. If we could replicate that 10 times on the East Bend, we would be way ahead of the curve, I can promise you. It's high, the drainage naturally goes towards Palace, and then, you know, the Pine Street, where it sits at. So just throwing my 2 cents, as I said, if you were to 1 to 5, it's closer to a 5 than, way closer than a 1. So, I mean, it's well done, and whether they dedicate the utilities or not, it's not a big stretch one way or the other.
And I knew, we did have one of our engineering inspectors out there during construction to watch the utilities being installed. So, and I couldn't find it real quickly, just sitting up here trying to read it, but we would be okay. If we don't accept utilities with this plat, I would be comfortable recommending that we do, because we had an inspector out there. Some of them we don't, like the DeBees Road, because they came in and didn't want to dedicate to the city at the beginning, but this one, we did have an inspector out there.
And it does represent the first of a repopulation effort. I mean, there's no reason for them to come in and do that. They had some vision on what the potential is on that, from Oak, from the point, from Myrtle Street all the way to Oak Street. So it's a pretty good deal, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, you're saying from 1 to 5? I'm almost going to say the same thing. He's probably thinking we consider to be a 27. There's 27 houses.
Yeah.
We're not questioning that. We just want to try to find out about the dedication of the streets. You know, and I know that every chance I get, I remind anybody and everybody, we don't need to go up north cutting down trees, building roads. We already got roads, got everything we need. We got over 1,000 empty lots, and this is going to take 27 of them away. So we're getting there. One day, Mr. Mayor.
Now, let me respond, because that property belonged to the housing authority, sitting there without use for a bunch of years. And this was the first where they said, hey, we want a part of this redevelopment. So it wasn't taking somebody's lot. It was actually reusing of the housing authority's property. And that was what was amazing about this opportunity. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I had to throw them.
I'm not saying we took anybody's property. I'm saying that of 1,000 empty lots we have in East Biloxi, we just took 27 and going to build some houses, and that's all we want. As far as East Biloxi go, Ward 1 and Ward 2, 100% behind it. We just wanted to make sure about that's all it is to it. So that is a home run. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for being behind it, and we're going to keep moving forward. Mr. Wayne?
On this road, you got to understand, there's only one house. That's all we have on this one road. So we're adding 27. And like the mayor says, there's a lot of land that's empty around there that developers can come in and get. There's probably, 2 blocks, 3 blocks right there that's empty. So any developers, y'all need to build, we got the spot for y'all. Y'all come on. Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, gentlemen, for that.
Biloxi.
Thank you. All right, call for the question. I think I don't hear a lot of negative on this development, so we'll call for the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Move on to item C. This was moved by myself and seconded by Councilman Marshall. It was tabled for 1 week. Do we need to make a motion to bring it off the table, or we just discuss it? Okay. We just go into discussion with it. This was a reduction of facility rental fees by the Gulf Coast Biloxi Boxing Academy. And is there anyone here representing that group? Sir, if you'd come up, please. And you have the microphone. State your name, your position, and tell us why you're making this request, and a little bit about your organization. Thank you, sir.
How you doing? My name is Jonathan Hopkins. I'm the head coach of Gulf Coast Boxing Academy. I've been there for maybe 3-4 years now. They got passed to me to the guy before me, 40 years. Located in Gulfport, but have kids from everywhere, all the cities, And we travel with actually the region champs right now. And we've been going out. Now it's our turn for the people to come to us. And we just want to make sure it's in a nice facility for them to be able to come in. I do everything out of my pocket. I don't charge, That's life. I have maybe anywhere between 25, 30 kids all the time. And we're together every day. And, pretty much, it's a nice building, And when the people come from out of town.
How does this affect these kids, this experience? Tell us about that.
Discipline, it gives them something to look forward to. When the people are coming here, we travel a lot, they get to see a lot, and not just stuck in the neighborhoods, and not just the bottom neighborhoods, all neighborhoods. There's kids that need help in the bottom, in the suburbs, and we just traveling,
Okay.
family, every day.
I got one more comment, and then I'll turn it over to Councilman Marshall, who seconded this. Mr. Marshall wants to challenge you to a charity boxing event, and if he wins, you got to pay the full price. If you win, we'll give you that reduction. Can you agree to that, sir?
Yeah, right now.
Okay.
No.
Mr. Marshall, you got the floor.
What they say about politicians? There we go. All right, I've never heard of you. And I'm from East Biloxi, and I know a lot of kids over in East Biloxi. We don't even have a gym over in East Biloxi. We're trying to work on that. But have you reached out to any other organizations over in East Biloxi, anywhere?
Can't say I really do everything on my own. You know, I talk to whoever, you know, not really like top team, maybe other buildings that work with us. Like I said, we're kind of new. We'll start off small, but now it's getting big, you know.
Okay. The reduction in facility for that day, what do you plan to do that day?
Have a USA sanctioned event, boxing event, where people from, like I said, we're the region champs, so they come from everywhere, California, New Orleans, everywhere.
Are you selling tickets? What are you gonna do with the money when you sell the tickets?
Try to make enough to get a new floor. Have a building that's 50, 60 years old.
Which building is that?
Gulfport County actually sponsored us to us off Gulfport. It's a fire station. The guy who had it before me had it a very long time, so we're kind of just sitting where he left. I want to get the boys all type of stuff, new gloves, they all turn into your kids at some point. I have grown-ups too, but for the most of the kids, they turn into your kids.
So how do you plan to involve, how do you plan to involve Biloxi in this?
Well, I have fighters from Biloxi. I got two that stay right around the corner. You know? I take care of them. I crank my car up. I blow my car up for them. I make sure they're good. I treat them like my own sons. You know, I can only do so much. And
Are you paying yourself?
sir,
Are you paying yourself?
I'm paying myself.
Yeah. Okay, so the money you're getting, the money that you're gonna be making, you're gonna just put it right back into developing your program, getting your facility built up, and that's gonna be in Gulfport or Biloxi?
That's in Gulfport. Buildings in Gulfport. Gulfport actually sponsored me. Well, the guy who had it before me was getting sponsored from Gulfport, so he passed it to me. That's the one I got, but it's not, I have people from everywhere.
Okay, I push East Biloxi 100%. Anything you're doing for East Biloxi, I'm gonna stand behind it 100%. I'm totally East Biloxi. This is the bill you're speaking of is in this man's ward, so I'm gonna turn it over to him.
How are you reaching out to, I mean, is this for local kids or just a UFC event?
Amateur.
And our amateurs we have here. I'm the only sanctioned, not the only sanctioned building, but I'm under USA, but I'm the only building under USA Boxing here. But our kids are from here, Gulfport, Biloxi, Ocean Springs. That's why I didn't name it Gulfport Boxing Club. It's Gulf Coast, it's everybody. And we've been the champs for like 2 years. Rank up, go to Kansas, go here and there. So it's for our boys, but I just want when the people come in town to come see our building is no good, but it's a blessing. So they come in, I want them to come into something nice. I want them, so the next time I throw a event, that's what some of the money would go for. Does new this, that, and pay for the next event. We have to pay for sanctions, things like that, our boys. So our boys to feel like we're any less to anybody else out of town. You know, they're nice events.
How many boxers or UFC fighters you got, or amateurs here in Biloxi? Do you know?
2. I do. Deshaun Wicks, West. They both stay like just right around the corner. That's not including guys that's not signed up for US. I saying got a little kid named Connor. Bro, I drive all over.
Right, well, I mean, we don't mind supporting our youth. I mean, as kids, we all played up around here. So I guess the question is, why did you pick Biloxi and not Gulfport? Because that is where your gym is. Most people try to do that. So I guess that's gonna be a lot of our questions.
Biloxi,
We got the hotel rooms here for those boxers that are coming in from out of town. Yep.
that's part of that helps me get them there, the national champ. Not just regular, like the big guys to make the big show. Honest, Alan Belcher, do a show here once. Helped them. Had my boys in there selling pizza, this, that, and the other. Nice facility. I don't want to lie or anything. That's why I just always have my eye on it. Like, I'm able to get that.
I mean, you could say that it's the best building around. That's why.
Yeah, that's what we do here. We do the best building. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Mayor, hold on one second.
That's all I have.
Councilman Creel wants to challenge Alan Belcher. So that'll be the other charity event. But he does have a question also.
Quick question, how many total students do you have? Not necessarily from Biloxi, just total?
I want to say 25.
Okay, thank you.
Like, we're outgrown.
All right.
Like, I have to have some outside, some inside, and switch it out. I'm about like everyday students. Got like, out of the 25, like 8 of them that go out and fight. Every kid doesn't want to fight.
All right, Councilman Tisdale, and then we'll get to the mayor next.
Yeah, I just want to explain my vote on these facility rental agreements. There are several of them, and that is, I'll be voting no on each of these. I'm sure they're fine organizations, I don't doubt that, but based on our budget discussion from workshops and everything this summer, it was a couple of months ago, so I just wanted to explain my vote on these items. Thank you.
Mayor?
Yeah, I would like to voice my 2 cents in support of boxing here. Boxing got a long history in Biloxi, going back to 1910s, 1915s. Gulf States tournament was a national kind of tournament. We had the AAU Nationals in '78, and a lot of great tradition here. And I really have not, over the last 4 or 5 years, had organized amateur boxing. So I'm welcoming the opportunity to showcase our little cultural part of boxing was big. Boxing, was part of something that was special. So
I hope passing some is Warren Miguez.
Posky Miguez, a Biloxi guy, and big time in Gulfport. But we also had Toronto's, a lot of different. But there was all that same group, older than me. Like, I'm old, but it was a lot older than me. But literally, it was part of growing up Biloxi. Is to wrap your hands and get in that ring for a little bit, and it really is a big experience. Even if you fight 2 times, if you get in that ring 1 time, you're going to understand what it takes. So I'm in support of this. It's not a whole lot of money, but it's a great place, and it's a great venue to bring this science back.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to wrap it up with this. We tabled this resolution for 1 week, requesting that you come and appear and kind of educate us a little bit. You've done that today. I'm sure you'd rather be in your gym working with your boys and all that kind of stuff, but it does have a lot of benefits other than just an event that's happening in Biloxi that at the current time has about 2, maybe 3 boxers from Biloxi. Biloxi was king at one time, promoting events in the Coliseum frequently. And it was events, small events like this that caused our reputation to grow. We even had Olympic trials here and amateur boxing. I mean, it was sought after, seen by millions on TV and all that good stuff.
Oh, again.
That's right. So it goes beyond just reducing a facility fee. It gives that experience. That's the answers we were seeking. Does this help the youth? You mentioned that. One of the things that I heard you say, they're like your own boys, and I can see that in your eyes today.
Yeah.
And it's far-reaching when you have those other amateurs coming from all over that get to see a piece of Biloxi, and they don't know what Biloxi is until they get here, and they get to tell everybody, and I think it just kind of gets the word out, and it helps us in the long run attract visitors and boxing enthusiasts, and it helps our community. Is there any other comments? Mr. Nail.
What is the oldest that's going to be fighting?
That's gonna be fighting at the event.
You want to know?
No.
Okay.
I used to box.
He wants to know if there's an age requirement, so.
No. I mean, the oldest one that's
That's gonna fight at the event. I wanna say probably about 40, somewhere.
40.
Yeah, no, it goes up to like,
You can beat them. You can beat them.
have the master class.
You can beat them.
Now, most of them are gonna be young. Most of them.
Oh, okay. How many bouts you think it's going to be?
Just 15. I just want
15?
Get everybody in, get everybody out, have a good time, you know.
All right.
Yeah, so I want to say about 15.
I boxed when I was 10.
Yep. There you go.
Yep.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for kind of educating us. Call for the question on item C. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries 6-1. 5-2, I'm sorry. Shoemaker and Tisdale against.
Now I know why the officers are here. Escort you two out of here.
All right, we'll continue on.
Resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with Woolmarket Elementary School and approving a waiver of facility rental fees for the Woolmarket City Center.
Chair, entertain a motion.
I'll move it.
All right, moved by Mr. Shoemaker, seconded by Mr. Gray. Mr. Shoemaker?
It's a good event. I think they help us. We're helping them. They help us in return. I think it's kind of back and forth amongst us and them. So I think it's just something we should do because they help us tremendously at the same place, actually.
Mr. Gray?
I have nothing.
All right, anybody else? There being none, call for the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries 6-1. Next, item E.
Resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with the Legacy Business League and approving a reduction of facility rental fees for the Biloxi Civic Center.
Okay. Chair, entertain a motion.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Marshall. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Creel, Mr. Marshall?
Anyone here representing them?
Doing good.
My name is Angie Juzang, and I'm wearing multiple hats today. I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Community Relations with Memorial Health System. I'm the immediate past chair for Goodwill of South Mississippi, and I am the chair for Legacy Business League, which is the organization that is asking for the reduction in fees today. We gave you a packet, and hopefully it answers some of the questions that you were posing to the gentleman before me. We have had this event as a freestanding event for the last 5 years, not counting the assistance that I provided probably about 15 years ago, helping my brother Gilbert Mason Jr. Start the Charles Drew Blood Drive for the MLK Coastwide Committee. But 5 years ago, all of these organizations, plus many more, collaborated to have it at the Coliseum. The city of Biloxi was a sponsor at that time. And since then, we moved it from there to the Orange Grove Community Center, and we quickly outgrew that. The city of Biloxi was actually on our materials and a sponsor during those years as well. Last year was the first year we had at the Biloxi Civic Center, and it was perfect for the organizations and the vendors and retailers that this event helps to accommodate. So we're hoping to have it in February of this year. That was the first time that the Biloxi Civic Center was available. We still feel like we need that room and that space. We had about 500 participants, 500 plus participants. We do register individuals so we can capture some demographics. We had volunteers from sororities, fraternities, various civic organizations that helped us do the registration, hand out the food distribution that we did. This year we added retail vendors, and they sold items, small businesses out in the lobby area. And it was one of our largest participating events in terms of 80 plus vendors. Goodwill and Memorial give monetary and in-kind donations, and Legacy does the sweat equity and provides, smaller contributions to the expenses. We've been we were a 501c6. We went through a rebrand in 2019, but we've been in existence since 2013. For those businesses that need to give money to a 501c3, we have an account set up with the Gulf Coast Community Foundation. On page 3, it shows other things that we did that day. We gave out 500 children's books. Those were provided to us by Goodwill. 150 bike helmets. That is something we've done all 5 years. Well, this will be our 5th year. And those are donated by the Memorial Hospital Foundation. One of the things that we added this year, because of the food insecurity in the area, was to procure 5,000 pounds of food. We did have to pay for that through Feeding the Gulf Coast, and Jeffrey Hullum with Extend a Hand, Feed a Friend was the one that helped us facilitate that distribution. Our hope is to double that this year, and that will be where some of the money that we save from the rental fee can transfer to purchasing more of those items. We actually want to purchase some more of the bike helmets as well, and we do bike safety and such there. The Memorial Foundation is out of inventory for that. So one of the things that Memorial Health System, really, of course, we are good stewards in the community, and we have a graduate medical education program where our residents help with our health fairs just about every Saturday, and they attend this event. But we have a requirement to provide services to people of a particular socioeconomic levels, Medicaid, Medicare, and a lot of the categories that you see in this packet, they have requirements to show our Joint Commission. So they participate throughout the year, and that's part of my job, is to create opportunities for them. So we're very proud of this event because every area that you see was manned by 2 or 3 Memorial staff members, and they were able to take one-on-one time with individuals in the community, in addition to providing glucose screenings and blood pressure education. We did have a partnership last year, it was a much more robust youth experience. The Gulf Coast, Boys and Girls Club of the Gulf Coast led that effort. Of course, they're the largest youth development organization on the coast, and so Kiva Scott, she's one of the founders of Legacy Business League, and she has been with us since the beginning in terms of supporting this event. We have not received confirmation if they're going to do it in 2026, but we were very proud and pleased with their participation last year. The next page shows the number of vendors. I think this is really, I'm partial to this, but I think it's pretty impressive, given the number of health fairs that I touch each year. Taking that experience, we were able to build partnerships and get people really excited about this event, to make it very interactive. One of the cool things we set out to do was to create an experience, right? And so we compartmentalize the room in different categories. So we have jobs and careers and entrepreneur support on one side. We have mental health and wellness, mental health services on another, financial empowerment, housing assistance. We have a section for senior services. It's compartmentalized into veteran services, of course, the youth experience, and then legal services, where we do expungement workshops as well. So what's neat about it is that people can go in and get the service that they need, rather than, a lot of fairs, they'll make you kind of go to every booth and sign off so you can get a door prize at the end. We created it to where it's very well, the signage is there, and people can get in and out. One of the first times we had this, we had a couple come in. I greeted them at the door, and it couldn't have been 10, 15 minutes, and they were leaving, and I said, "Oh, did you not have a good experience?" And they said, "No, the opposite. We came down from Wiggins, we saw the advertising of who was going to be here, and we have been trying to get this one nonprofit on the phone for months, and we needed housing assistance, and so we came right in, got what we needed, got our bag and our door prize, and left. And I think that that speaks volumes to what we were trying to create. And so it's a job and a health fair, and then we compartmentalize the rooms. The next page kind of shows how the city of Biloxi was highlighted just last year, and it's not everything that we printed. We had, obviously flyers, posters. We had the volunteers went out and put signage up in barbershops and beauty shops, even at Dollar General and just different places. People were very open to having signage about this, and I think that attributes to the success and the traffic because we do a grassroots effort. Y'all were included in all of our radio ads, radio mentions. We had our board members and other participations like the CEO of Goodwill go on WLOX and WXXV, and you were mentioned there. We're on our collateral material, like the bags that we handed out, and we do that every year. And so the last page just shows you again how the categories are the resource experts in all the areas that we have. We did, like I said, door prizes, and we gave out free hot dogs and hamburgers. That is, the Sheriff's Department actually helps us with that. And they were donated by Nico Foods. And this has typically been in conjunction with 3 other events. We're going to continue to have those this year. One is more of an entertainment, but also has panelists and a guest speaker. Last year, we had the CEO of Southern Company, who was the first African-American to lead that organization. He was our keynote speaker. Interspersed with entertainment, actually, a lot of them were from Biloxi. And then we also have a celebration of arts and culture at the O'Keefe Museum every year. And we will continue to have that as well. It may not be in January. We're finding that we want to kind of break free of other events and not be in competition with them. We want everybody to be successful. So again, this is the first date that the Biloxi Civic Center was open, so that's why we grabbed this one up. But we're looking at possibly, again, moving those other events back too, but we'll have those.
All right, thank you. Mr. Marshall?
On your radio ads, what you're telling me is this. Well, first, let me make sure I'm hearing you correctly. You're not asking us to write you a check for anything, are you?
Not. We're just asking.
So every time you mention this event, you're mentioning the city of Biloxi.
Absolutely did.
Okay, every ad that you put in any type of periodical, our city, you're promoting the city of Biloxi, okay?
That is correct.
Okay. Also, how many people attended last year?
500 plus.
500 plus. Mr. Mayor, how many people can we get in that place?
Easily.
Okay.
17.
Okay. All right. So, okay. That's what that building, the use of that building is just for that. So I'm okay with that. What I need to know also is, you seeing that, I'm seeing here Memorial Hospital. Okay. You work for Memorial Hospital?
I do. I'm the Vice President of Marketing. I've been there for 6 years, and prior to that, I was with Garden Park for 9.
So during that one day, you're going to have a job fair?
It's a job and, well, as you can see, it's more than that. It's mental health services, it's multiple things. And it's not just Memorial. Molina Healthcare was there. We have several different medical clinics. Belinda Alexander comes out and does breast cancer awareness. So yes, it's and even our people, our Memorial career HR comes out and they set up on the job fair side.
Okay. All right. Do you have social media?
Oh yes, that's our primary way of getting information
Okay.
out.
So are we going to be featured prominently on that also?
So we have what's called presenting sponsors and then support sponsors. The city of Biloxi is a presenting sponsor along with the people that I've said, Hancock Whitney and WJZD. So we do interviews on WJZD in support of Rip Daniels. Again, we go on WLOX and XXV, and we promote the city of Biloxi there as well.
Okay. So by you being there, your organization putting this on with the other organizations, by us helping you to do this, you're able to open the doors for the vendors to come in. We're talking about Memorial Health System, we're talking about Renaissance Community Loan Fund, SMPDD, all these are there because of the fact that we're helping you to get that facility for that day to reach out to the community. Am I understanding that correctly?
100%. And I mean, there are health job fairs throughout the coast. Like I said, it could be every Saturday. Again, my job is to field those requests for Memorial, and I can keep my staff busy and the residents busy every year. The magic about this particular event is the collaboration that we have with those individuals who are also putting on these events. When we come together and we use our resources, when we use the power of their social media, we even create ads for them to use that say, I'm a vendor. And so we send it out to individuals who can utilize their social media and their contacts. And that's why I think this is so successful. I think that those who put these on for their own organizations, I think it's admirable, but for whatever reason, the traffic isn't what it needs to be. So I spent 6 months researching and going to almost everyone physically myself and looking at the pros and cons of what people did, and then asking them, say, hey, will you join forces? And let's do one big one. Let's make this the biggest one on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Continue to have yours, but at least once a year, let's all get together and just create that energy and give the resources out that we need.
So the biggest one, by doing this, we're going to be like the biggest one on the coast, right?
Based off of my experience, I've not seen anything bigger.
We like it when it's big in the East Biloxi area, in Biloxi period, but, okay, I'm good.
All right. Mr. Crib.
Just one question, and you've said it, but I like to hear it again. It's open to the public and free to the public.
100%. All of the events that we do.
The only other question I have is...
That's two.
...is the math. But, so according to the line item, it says it's a reduction of $1,500, and then in the dissertation, whereas the rental fee is $3,000, and then down underneath it says the fee is being reduced to $1,600. There's
About that myself.
There's $100 missing somewhere. So are we reducing the fee by $1,500 to make it a $1,500 rental?
And or is the deposit, that was my question. That's normally what y'all have done.
Maybe
I've already paid the $1,500.
The equipment fees are included in there for the $100.
Yeah.
So that's what that is?
The audio-visual hookup is $100 is what we charge for that.
Okay,
Correct.
perfect. I just want to make sure the math was correct. Thank you.
Are there any other comments?
I do have a question though. So does that mean that we've already paid the $1,500? So does that mean
Just the rental fee is what would be reduced.
All right.
Thank you. Call for the question.
Well, make sure I'm hearing. You are paying $1,500.
We've already paid $1,500 deposit, and so historically we've gotten that back in addition to having the fee waived. But what I hear y'all saying today is that it will only be the additional $1,500, and I will take what we can get.
No, I'm trying to make, I want to make sure I'm clear. The fee is $3,000.
Yes.
We're going to take away $1,500.
Correct.
So you're going to give the city $1,500.
Already done
Already
that.
has.
That's a deposit.
Okay.
Once they get the facility back, if it's clean, they get that deposit back,
Okay.
is my understanding, correct?
No.
The only fee that they're going to be receiving would be the $100 equipment fee. That's why it's $1,600 remain, correct?
No.
The $1,500 will be a refundable deposit once the facility is returned. So if the council approves the waiver of fees, they will owe the city $1,600, $1,500 for the rent, and then $100 for the AV,
Correct.
which would be a $1,500 reduction off the $3,000.
So you're going to still owe us $1,500.
I've already paid it. Keep it.
Technically, she's getting the $1,500 back that will be applied to the $1,500 balance plus the $100, the audio-visual. They'll owe $100 for the audio-visual. So they'll pay $1,600. So they're just, there's a deposit. The deposit will be applied to what they owe.
No.
Deposit will be refunded. Okay, but they have to pay for the $1,500 balance.
Like I said, if this passes, council, the legacy would owe the city $1,600, and that would cover the rental, of the reduction rental, plus the AV fees. Then once their event is over, there's no damages, of course, and the facility is clean, we will issue them a refund for their $1,500 deposit. They will get that back.
You clear? Okay. All right, all in favor? Opposed? Carried 6-1.
Resolution authorizing entry into facility rental agreement with Second Launders Mardi Gras Club and approving a reduction of facility rental fees for the Biloxi Civic Center.
Chair will entertain a motion. Somebody. I'll make the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Marshall. Thank you, Mr. Marshall. Anyone here speak on behalf of second liners? Good afternoon. If you just state your name and your role with the organization.
My name is Deborah McGee. I am the Business Affairs Manager for the Second Liners Mardi Gras Club. So, Mayor Gillich and members of the City Council, I am glad to be sitting here in front of you to give you a little bit of information on the Second Liners and why we would like to have the reduction in fee. I'm here to speak on Resolutions F on the policy agenda regarding the nonprofit rate of the $1,500 for our organization. Is a certified nonprofit with the state of Mississippi, and we also hold a 5013C from the IRS. The Second Liners Mardi Gras Club was founded here in Biloxi and has proudly served this community for 31 years. Each year, we provide scholarships to graduating seniors across Mississippi Gulf Coast. To date, we have awarded over $100,000 to deserving youth, especially those who are at risk. Our annual scholarship ball blends the excitement of the Mardi Gras season with the spirit of giving as we raise funds to support community outreach and educational opportunities. In addition, our initiatives include Operation Santa for Children, school supplies giveaway, senior dinner, Thanksgiving turkey drives, and support for our local food pantries. We also support the Back Bay Mission, the Boys and Girls Thanksgiving and Christmas. This event that we're having is one of our annual fundraisers. It is expected to draw more than 500 attendees from across the southeastern United States. These guests will stay in Biloxi hotels, dine in our restaurants, and enjoy the many amenities our city has to offer. Therefore, we respectfully ask for your support and approval of this resolution. That's all I have. Any questions?
That was some good stuff, Mr. Marshall.
You can go ahead, Mr. Creel.
Mr. Creel.
So if the date, I'm looking at this date, it's Memorial Day weekend?
Yes.
So do you have room blocks already for your event at any hotel?
Not.
Okay. My only suggestion is it's going to be a sellout weekend and the rates are going to be high.
Second one, and it is on that Sunday for Memorial Day.
Also, if I could, with the administration, if we could, going forward with these, when we have fee requests such as these, that we apply non-departmental funds throughout the year, if we could add these with that, so that way we can get a total at the end of the year. So when we look at non-departmental allocations next year, we can take that into consideration as far as the fee reductions. Yeah. Thank you. Very nice presentation. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Yes. In reference to the second liners, the name of the organization is it's the Biloxi Second Liners Mardi Gras. However, don't let the word Mardi Gras fool you. As far as East Biloxi, this organization has adopted Henry Beck Park. This organization has provided scholarships for young people all throughout Biloxi, not just East Biloxi, but all throughout Biloxi. This organization...
What was that? Speak up, I couldn't hear you. What was that? If you don't mind, let the audience hear what you said there.
This organization has provided scholarships for young people all throughout East Biloxi and Biloxi.
Outstanding.
This organization also has sponsored food giveaways. If you ask this organization to appear, they show up in droves. This organization has never, ever turned any of the churches down in my community or throughout Biloxi. If you call this organization and say, hey, we're gonna need some help at the nursing home, you're gonna probably see carload after carload after carload. So don't think that they only work for Mardi Gras. They just happen to be a Mardi Gras club, but they also have adopted Biloxi and East Biloxi to go out throughout the year. So any funds that we have extended to them through our budget prior to this is already allocated to other things that they're doing. What they're doing right now is also just raising money for those type of continue to do those things in the community. So this is what I consider to be a working organization. This is not for organization that's just passing through, coming through, using our facility. This is us. This is our organization, and I'm going to be supporting this.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall.
All right. Any other comments? There being none, call for the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries 6-1.
5-2.
5-2, I'm sorry. 5-2. Next item.
Resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with Mental Health Association of South Mississippi and approving a reduction of facility rental fees for the Biloxi Civic Center.
Chair will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Gray. Mr. Creel.
Is there someone to speak? Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Kay Denault, Executive Director of the Mental Health Association. I want to just start by saying mental health is an issue that seems to be growing not only in our community, but around the country. Statistically, 1 in 5 individuals experiences some sort of mental health challenge. And that can be anything from anxiety, which can come from a lot of stress, a lot of different issues, depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. So there are many different diagnoses. And you think 1 in 5. So when you're in a restaurant, when you're at a concert, or you're in this room, there are people in this room who are having challenges. What our organization tries to do is we try to connect with people, try to get them to some different resources, help them understand what's out there, what their challenges might be to get to those resources, and how can we assist them. So we have our homeless outreach program. We have people who work out in the community with people who are literally living on the streets. And I know all of you have seen people in Biloxi who are living in the streets. So what our staff does is they initially just try to start that conversation with someone, which can be really difficult because people have had all sorts of experiences that led them to that moment. I truly don't believe that someone just wakes up and says, "How I'm going to live." Something happened to them. Something got them there. It could be, I've heard people say, well, I feel like my family's 1 paycheck away from ending up there. And that certainly can happen. So we look at things from I haven't walked in that person's shoes type of mentality, to give people respect, to give them the opportunity to trust someone enough to help them get the resources that they need. So they might start with giving them a bag of hygiene items, maybe some food, things like that. Try to help them get a copy of their birth certificate. People are walking around with everything they own in a bag, usually, so they lose things. They may get assaulted in some way, and so now they have to start over. We've had people that we've taken to DMV multiple times or ordered their birth certificate multiple times because it's just hard for them, especially if they're experiencing some sort of mental illness. So we have that program, and ultimately we're trying to get people into housing, get people into treatment, get them to a place where they can make a difference on themselves and eventually make a difference in our community and start to give back. and get back to the place that they originally came from. We have a program that is a day program for adults 18 and older to come to be able to be with other people who also have mental illness. It's sort of like a senior citizen center, but it's for people who have mental health challenges. It's a fun place to be, but also an educational place to be. We feed them breakfast and lunch. Today, for instance, we have 2 individuals that we're trying to help them get their ADA clearance with Coast Transit Authority so that they can have better transportation to get to the doctor or wherever they need to go. CTA doesn't always travel in places where people can just walk down to the bus stop. And 2 particular individuals they may not be able to get there on their own. They may end up someplace that they never intended. So we really think that they are deserving. So even little things like that, we try to help people with. We also hold some classes. We recently we're certified to teach a couple of national programs. One is mental health first aid, which is, it's all about learning what signs and symptoms and risk factors and things to look for in someone. And then also, how do we help that person? How do we even broach the subject? How do I say to someone, are you thinking about suicide? That's very difficult. So the class has scenarios where you can actually get in groups and talk about, well, what would I do in this situation? And they're real situations. The last couple of classes that we did were for emergency responders. And then, of course, we've done for the general community. But we want to grow that. We're looking at doing some with faith-based leaders. You know that a lot of people go to their, to their pastors or, those leadership to try to get some guidance. And sometimes people don't really have all of the information or feel comfortable when it is a mental health issue. So mental health, substance use, crises, there's a lot of things happening in our community that we try to, like I said, come at it from a strength-based and a personal-based look on folks. And realize that, again, we haven't walked in their shoes. We don't know where they've been. But we want to try to find out and get them to a different path.
So, quick question, if I could. Can you tell us more about this reduction in facility fee that you're asking for, and what it's for, and what it does, and the aspects of that?
Thank you. So our event is called Don't Worry, Be Happy. This is actually, 26 will be the 18th year, I think, that we've had the event. And we've been at Biloxi Civic Center for probably the last 6 years. Okay, thank you. I lose track. Mayor Gillich has been to the event several times. I know several of you have as well. It's a night where we bring people together. We try to raise awareness, but we also try to make it fun. And so that night, we honor some people from the community who are doing good things. And we also give out a humanitarian award. A couple years ago, Susan Hunt was the recipient of that. I know you guys know, everybody knows Susan. Last year, Butch Ostelet received that award. We have local restaurants like, Half Shell Oyster House has participated, Scarlet Pearl Casino, some of the other casinos, Ground Zero's been a part of that. So it's a lot of different things happening that evening where we can bring people together just to learn more about and support the fact that people are having some mental health issues in our community. It helps us, waiving those fees, it is a fundraiser for us. But what happens is we have grants, they don't always cover everything. For instance, we're required to file taxes just like everybody else. And it's expensive for the CPA to do that. Well, the grants that specify we have to have these audits don't pay, they only pay, usually it's 8 to 10% of the bill. And so then how are we gonna pay the rest of that, of something that we're required to do? So there's a lot of things that aren't covered under grants that this fundraiser helps fill in those gaps. And so the waiving of fee will just help us to be able to have
It's a
big-
great, well-attended event every year. I can attest to it. It's for great causes, and many people across the coast, as far as vendors and wanting to help, are there, and it's great to have them in our civic center. So
That was my next question. How many people attended last year approximately?
I think it was around 350.
350. Okay, perfect, thank you.
probably more than that.
I have nothing. She answered everything I needed. Thank you.
All right, any other comments from the council? Mayor, anything?
I'm good.
All right.
Support.
Oh, I'm good.
Call for the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries 6-1.
Thank you.
Next item.
Resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with Mississippi Rural Water Association and approving a reduction of facility rental fees for the Point Cadet Pavilion.
Chair, entertain a motion for discussion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Gray, second by Mr. Nail. Mr. Gray?
Is anybody here with the,
Councilman, we reached out to the Water Association and Xavier University, and based on Thanksgiving week, if we could possibly even table this, I'll allow that. I asked y'all to take a look at that and maybe bring them back, but Jamie and them reached out to them, and Thanksgiving week, they could not be here.
Mr. Gray, will you make that
motion to table this?
All right. There's a motion to table item H. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nail. Discussion? All in favor? Those opposed? 5-2 opposed to table. Did I get that correctly? And we'll table it until our next meeting. Item I, Chair will entertain a motion to table.
You want me to read it first?
Do we need to bring it? Chair will entertain a motion for discussion.
So moved.
All right. Moved by Mr. Creel. Do I have a second? I'll second it for discussion. Mr. Creel.
We'll let this young lady speak, and then I just have some housekeeping questions.
Hi, I'm Peggy Gibson. I'm a proud graduate of Biloxi High School, nice class of 1970, where we just celebrate our 55th year. I'm also a graduate of Xavier University, 1974, a graduate of Tulane MBA program in 1975, and a graduate of Northwestern University School of Ministry in 2021. Because I am of Clara Roadman, who provided an avenue for me to get an education while I was attending Biloxi High School. And because of that, it opened up doors for me in my life, and I like to be able to give back. So the Mississippi Gulf Coast Alumni Association for State University contacted me. We have over 200 friends living in the and so what we want to do is provide a scholarship event that we can raise enough money to at least $5,000 scholarship back to students in Mississippi so they can attend one of my proud universities.
So, yeah, Ms. Rodman was a precious soul herself. So the question I have, and I guess based on a previous item, the math doesn't math to me. So the fee was $1,900, the reduction's $950, but the reduced fee is still $1,250. So I'm assuming there's something else in that we're charging for.
Correct. That's kind of in the same situation, like, except this has two pieces, well, two different add-ons, one being a dance floor and one being the kitchen usage. That is additional cost to that rental. Now, the rental is cheaper than the first one due to the fact that this is only a ballroom A versus a full ballroom.
Full ballroom. That's what, when it said this, okay. So that's, and I may have missed that. Is that in the dissertation? If you go in, does it list all of the additional add-ons with the additional amounts? Okay.
Yes, sir, it does.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You got any other questions? Okay, I got a few questions. First one being, how many attendees on this event?
We're hoping for 100 minimum.
Okay, and how many days is the event?
One night.
For just one night, okay. All right. That's all I have. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, you saying you're gonna try to get $5,000 scholarships?
Which we hope to raise
15,000? Okay, you have an event in Biloxi. You're asking Biloxi to help you. Will you do any type of advertising?
Of course, we will be advertising, and of course, Biloxi would be one of our sponsors.
Okay, so on your social media, you have our logo and everything on it?
Right, we have flyers that we're going to send out. We're going to be contacting initially the 200 people that are also graduates as well. And then we're going to set up a group Facebook page to continue to advertise it. And then use Eventbrite to solicit funds, sell tickets through Event.
Okay. The scholarships are going to be going to students from where about?
Directly.
No, what city?
Mississippi students. Xavier Ridge on target the scholarships.
So they don't have to be from Biloxi?
Oh, no, we can't do that. Targeted to Mississippi.
It can't be just from East Biloxi.
I'm from East.
I didn't say East Biloxi.
Okay.
But you read my mind.
On Roy Street, East Biloxi.
I apologize to my colleague.
I'm 100% East Biloxi, and it's okay if two of them go to East Biloxi.
I apologize. Couldn't help it.
But he was right, though. They should go to East Biloxi. We got the best students in East Biloxi. We got the best educators in East Biloxi, and we need to get some more East Biloxi students in Xavier. How many times did I say East Biloxi?
All right, with that, we're going to call for the question. All in favor? Those opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4-3. Motion carries 4-3. Thank you. You're welcome. Need a motion on the consent.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Tisdale. Mr. Creel.
No questions.
Mr. Tisdale.
On item F, this deals with the K-9 who's retiring. And I know that we had discussed this, but we didn't memorialize anything at the time about if, and we didn't do that because we'd need to have some guidelines to do something. Excuse me. But, and you said you might have the money in your budget. Always a safe answer.
Maybe.
Maybe. So, but we had talked about maybe setting aside if a dog was retired and adopted by a Biloxi police officer and was responsible for that dog for X number of years. We'd talked about, but really didn't act on setting aside some money or budgeting some money, maybe not to exceed a certain figure per year, and then a cumulative total for like 5 years to help that officer with the vet bills and medication, whatever else might be required of that. So I just, if we could we check into that? And maybe if the administration could put a resolution together on that, at least bring it to the council, we could vote on. If there's enough support, then it would come out of the police budget. We wouldn't allocate any more dollars, and the budget may not permit that this year. But I'd sure love to see a resolution sometime in the next several weeks, maybe in December or early January. We'd at least take a shot at it.
All right, I'll work with Chief Miller on that.
All right, thank you. On item H, there's items H and I are both resolutions related to Neil Schaefer. And in part of the resolution, in a section of the resolution, they break down the hourly rates.
Yeah.
And in item H, they give you the hourly rates for 2024 and 2025. And In Resolution I, they give you the rates for 2026 and 2027. I'm assuming in Resolution H that the hourly rates shown should be for 26 and 27 also.
I would guess, unless this is,
I'm just thinking it's a typo. I'm sure all the rates are going up. I think it was 3%. And that being the case, I think those new rates in Resolution H, where they show that's all, it's just maybe it's a scrivener's error, but I'm thinking, I don't need to know last year's rates or this year's rates. It should be next year and the following year to cover the 2
I would
years, right?
assume to that, but it's all related to the RPR services for.
Right, for 2026 and 2027. So if somebody would just make that note, I don't know that it's significant, I just caught that. That's all that I have, thank you.
All right. Any other comments about the consent from anyone?
Item C.
Mr. Nail?
On the surplus stuff, is there any way we can look into getting a public auction back and give people of Biloxi a chance to buy some of their own stuff back?
On the Gov deals?
We can take a look at that and see. I'll get a detailed list of what's going on with that and kind of lay out a plan. And I've talked with Chief Miller before, and it's really been more troublesome than it has been beneficial. But we'll take a look at it and see, and I'll put the numbers together of what it's gonna cost us versus what we think we're gonna get out of it. Because at the end of the day, we at least need to break even on our cost and analysis.
Well, I think too, as far as being able to bid on something, I think, you know, the internet way of doing this thing allows you to do that. I don't know if you have to get on to whatever we're trying to surplus with enough credentials to allow you to bid on those items.
It does. It allows anybody to bid unless it's something that's public safety, just for public safety, then only other public safety agencies can bid on it, but the majority of it is open to the public.
Yeah, but when you sit in a truck and crank it up, you'll get a lot more money for it than on the internet.
Yeah, but there's some opportunity to do that too, and on certain occasions.
There is.
All right. Anyone else want to comment on?
Yeah, I got.
You have, all right, Mr. Shoemaker, we'll come back to Mr. Gray.
I was just going to echo what Councilman Tisdale said regarding F and the retired police canines. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shoemaker. Mr. Gray?
I got a question for B. I don't know if that'd be a Walt or Christie question.
What is it? B.
Yeah, B. On here, the camera system, I mean, I know.
This is the videoing of the Howard Avenue sewer.
Right. I mean, do we have our own video equipment to do this?
We have utilities, but for this particular one, I mean, there's a third party. I think we got a couple of bids. Is that not Walt? Where's Walt? It's 4 quotes. This is the cheapest one.
Okay. That's all just see if we had our own equipment, but I understand.
Well, utilities, they do have some video, but not, the capacity to do
Not
that.
what we need for this. Okay, that's all I have.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. We'll vote on the consent, and then I'll get the exceptions afterwards. All in favor of the consent agenda? All opposed? Motion carries unanimous. We'll go for exceptions. Mr. Gray? Mr. Marshall? Mr. Nail? Mr. Creel?
No exceptions.
Mr. Tisdale?
None.
Mr. Shoemaker? And I have no exceptions. Move on to code enforcement.
I'm kidding.
Item A, Tyler Smith, 0 Destiny Plantation Boulevard. This property is still in violation.
Anyone here to speak on behalf of Tyler Smith, 0 Destiny Plantation Boulevard? There being no one, this case is closed.
Item B, Rebecca June Humphreys Estate, 175 Bill Morrison Drive. This property is not resolved, but it's sold, so we have to resolve it and start over with the new owner, so we're going to be doing that. No actions required by the council. Item C, Cicely Blair, 154 Crawford Street. That case has been resolved. Item D, Dean Prosperities LLC, 281 Strange Avenue. That case has been resolved. Item E, Mark Raymond et al., 171 Claiborne Street. That case has been resolved. Item F, NR Deed LLC, 121 Hopkins Boulevard. This property is still in violation.
What's the violation?
It's overgrown lot, neighbor complaint.
Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of NR Deed LLC, 121 Hopkins Boulevard? There being no one, this case is closed.
Item G, Jerry L. Scott Estate, 177 Daisy Street. That case has been resolved. Item H, Open Doors Homeless Coalition, 2793 Fernwood Road. This property is still in violation.
Any comments?
Yes, Jerry, is because there are two properties, I think, that they have on Fernwood Road. Is this the one near the western end, or is it the South Mississippi AIDS Task Force building? Do you know?
I'm not sure, Doctor.
Okay. Has anybody spoken?
All of these cases, that's one of the things we go over every morning before these cases come to y'all. Have we had any contact at all? No, none of these four that we have on here today returned any of our calls or responded to any of our mail that we sent out.
Okay. I'd make a motion to give them an additional 30 days, and I'll try and get in touch with them.
Motion by 30 days by Mr. Tisdale. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Nail. Discussion?
So how long has it been in violation?
I think this is the first time it's appeared.
It has. We haven't had it before. And typically it takes about 2 months from the time that we start a case to where it comes before the city council. There are certain steps that we have to follow.
So it's been in violation for at least 2 months?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And just a note for my colleagues up here, I've tried to get in touch with somebody this week with Open Doors, but it's Thanksgiving week, and that's who I'm attributing it to. So,
all right. There's a motion for 30 days. It's been duly seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes 6-1.
No.
Mr. Creel in opposition.
4-3. 4-3, Ken. Yeah. Wayne and Jamie and David.
4-3? Okay. 4-3 for the extension of 30 days?
Yeah.
All right. Move on to the next case.
Item I, Robert N. and Jeremiah R. Daly, 216 Rodenberg Avenue. That case has been resolved. Item J, John and Edith Garcia, 402 Clay Street. That case has been resolved. Item K, Jack D. Vincent Jr., 376 Mayo Street. This property is still in violation.
Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of Jack D. Vincent Jr., 376 Mayo Street? There being no one, this case is closed. Need a motion for the routine?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Tisdale. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Gray. Mr. Tisdale?
I defer to Mr. Gray.
Mr. Gray?
Well, yes.
Mr. Walt?
Get Mr. Walt up here. Give him something to do.
Council?
Just check, see if we got any money coming in.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, we got a couple $100 million.
We're trying. They would only listen to us.
Yeah.
In great shape. Currently, we have 307.7 thousand, we have 241.3 thousand that's in step 4 or 5. That's the finance voucher. It's been there for 4 days. We should see that into our accounts within the next 8 to 10 days. And that's followed by an additional nearly 308,000, step 3 of 5. That's been there for 6 days. So, yes, sir, we've got several $100,000 coming in or shortly, followed by another 308,000.
And we're burning at about $500,000 a month. So we're burning at about $500,000. So we should be receiving, at least $500,000 a month for the next 2 or 3 months.
Right, now this money's already allotted for something?
No, it's a reimbursement of bills we've already paid. And in order to pay the next bill when next hits the docket, they'll fall in line to kind of keep us at least 60 days ahead of, to cash flow it.
All right.
That's all I have.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Those opposed? Sure I get them. Motion passes unanimous. Chair will entertain a motion to recess.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Tisdale.
Adjourn.
Adjourn? I'm sorry, to adjourn?
Yep.
Do I have a motion to
I'll
adjourn?
make that motion.
All right, by Mr. Tisdale, do I have a second? Second by Mr. Creel. Discussion. All I'd like to say is have a very happy Thanksgiving to everybody on the council, the mayor, our directors, our team Biloxi, and all the citizens out there.
Happy Thanksgiving. All right, well.